If someone was coming to me wanting to improve their mental health but wasn't sure where to begin, here's where I would tell them to start. Hey there, my name's Katie. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've been around here for a minute. I'm a licensed therapist on a mission to help you cultivate peace and confidence through the challenging transitions in your life. Today we're talking about where in the world to begin if you're wanting to improve your mental health. And knowing that improving your mental health is a very broad concept, right? And that can mean so many different things to so many different people. So in today's video, hopefully we're gonna simplify it just a bit and give you just 5 focus areas so you have an idea of where to begin if you notice that your mental health is not where you want it to be. All of the ideas and strategies that I'm gonna share with you guys today have been research informed. They have been proven over the years to improve our mood and cognitive flexibility, our self-awareness, our emotion regulation, and they lead to lasting brain change, meaning that you can have lasting relief. I also just want to let you guys know that these are not just tips and tools that I pass along to you guys or to other people or to clients or whomever. These are also the first focus areas that I would turn to if I notice something going on with my own mental health and wellness. So the first place that I would begin is to start something called a reflection journal. A reflection journal allows you the time and the space to actually acknowledge the thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that we're experiencing on any given day. So often we just go through life and we feel a lot of things, and maybe we don't want to be feeling all of these things, but we are. So engaging in this type of practice where we're actually writing things down and acknowledging what we're experiencing, this allows us to start to identify triggers and patterns and make connections between how we're thinking and what we're feeling and how we're behaving. It can also be just really overwhelming when we want to improve our mental health, but we have no idea where to begin. So as we're engaging in something like a reflection journal, then we can actually start to pick up on those patterns and connections and triggers so we know where to focus our attention. This helps us to become much more aware of how we're responding to ourselves and to other people and just to situations in general. If you're not totally sure where to begin here to start a reflection journal of some kind, no worries, I have a free download for you. I will make sure to link that in the description, and also I guess I'll link the link to my shop too, so you can kind of look around and see what's going to be most beneficial for you. The second thing that can be really beneficial when it comes to improving our mental health is to have a daily gratitude practice. Not only does practicing gratitude help us to just acknowledge the good in us and around us, it also helps us to rewire our brain so we are not constantly fighting the brain's negativity bias. I go much more in depth into this topic of a negativity bias in this video, but the gist of it is that our brain wants to focus on all of the things that could potentially go wrong. This is our brain's way of trying to protect us, even though we know that we cannot actually predict what's going to happen. Spending just 3 to 5 minutes a day focusing on things that have gone well, or accomplishments that we've made recently or in the past, successes that we've had, relationships that we're grateful for, or even just like the simple pleasures of summer and feeling the sun on our skin or listening to the breeze kind of go through the leaves and all of those things. Just this little bit of a practice really helps our brain to identify the good things on a regular basis in our life. Not only does this feel good when we're doing it, just being able to acknowledge the good that is in us and around us, but again, like I said, this also helps to rewire our brain so it's much easier for us to see the good in our life than it was previously. And honestly, you guys, it's gonna be pretty difficult in the beginning. If you've never really practiced gratitude before and your brain constantly is focused on all that could possibly go wrong, turning to a practice like this is gonna be hard at first. It's gonna be really difficult to identify the good things in your life. That is perfectly normal. The brain is not used to focusing on these things, so it's gonna be difficult to think of. Think of this more like a skill, and this practice is a practice of skill building, of gratitude skill building. I promise that as you practice this regularly, it's gonna become easier to think of and to identify the good things in your life. So stick with it. You can even test this out if you want. Practice gratitude daily for 1 month and then do a bit of a review. My bet is that you will likely find it easier to identify the good things in your life, or that maybe you're even identifying more good things than you thought you could. Either way, I want to hear about it, so let me know how that goes. The next thing that's going to be very beneficial for our mental health is just in general taking care of our bodies. Our body works as a system, meaning that everything is connected. So our physical health is connected to our mental health and vice versa. Decades of research backs this up, from engaging in movement and getting enough sleep to eating foods that are nutritious and staying hydrated. I am definitely not here to promote any type of diet or fitness routine by any means. All I'm saying is that when we move our body on a regular basis and when we eat foods that are generally pretty healthy for us and we get enough sleep and we stay hydrated, all of these things work together to really positively impact how we feel and how we think and how we interact with others. The fourth thing that's going to be really beneficial is to practice mindfulness. This can be formal practices of mindfulness or informal practices of mindfulness. In general, practicing mindfulness is a great way to get in tune with the present moment. And not only that, but this really helps us to become self-aware, so we can better be aware of the thoughts that we're having and the impact those thoughts are having on us. As you probably know, the thoughts and emotions that we have every single day play a pretty big role on just the state of our mental health in general, especially if we are not super aware of how we are responding to our thoughts and emotions. For example, if I make a mistake and I automatically have the thought that I'm just not good at anything, that's probably gonna make me feel pretty down, and that might even be enough to initiate a downward spiral into depression or a spike into anxiety about providing for my family in the future. However, if I practice mindfulness regularly and I have that skill of mindful awareness of myself, there's a much higher chance that I can acknowledge that, okay, I'm having this thought. This is maybe how I would typically respond to this thought, and it's not going to be super helpful for me long term. So I'm going to choose a different route here. I'm going to choose to say, hey, this thought is not super helpful to me, and I'm going to focus my attention elsewhere. The last one that we're talking about today is just simply getting outside. There's a reason that seasonal affective disorder is a pretty prevalent thing, and especially more so in the winter months when the majority of us are probably not outside getting fresh air and sunlight. Even just stepping outside for a few minutes, taking some deep breaths, or even, taking a short walk around your neighborhood or apartment complex can really do your mind and body some good. So those are the 5 focus areas that I would turn to first if I was wanting to just check in with my mental health, or if I was helping someone really just in that beginning phase of wanting to improve their own mental health. I so hope that this was helpful for you. And again, I'm going to link that free download so you kind of have just a place to begin with some of these things. And I hope that that's helpful for you as well. And I guess, let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. And other than that, I will see you guys next time.